Excerpt from Hypnos by Team Wonderbra. I wake up choking and grasping my neck. This time it was about Kiernan and his throat. How I kissed it and curled up into it, inhaling his aroma with a hint of whiskey from an after-work drink. How he wrapped the rope around it. How he told me he couldn't take it anymore. About how no one would help us. How we were doomed. How we couldn't keep going on with the nightmares. I kissed him and smelled his skin, and he grinned, wrapping the rope around his neck over and over. He kisses me back, and then he falls. I'd always been able to shoulder the burden of the nightmares better than he had been. Sometimes it was a monster out to eat our unborn children. Sometimes it was the feeling of falling or being trapped in a house fire. I could always shake it off, but Kiernan would meet me at breakfast, bleary-eyed, panic-stricken, unable to eat breakfast. He would hold me tight during his morning goodbye, tighter than I imagined someone who hasn't been up all night with nightmares. No one knows why the nightmares started. At first, it was just a group of people sharing their stories of bad sleep over office water coolers, full of sympathetic eyes, picking up each other's slack. Then, it became a pandemic. It happened to everyone. Mothers woke up to screaming in the night. Couples woke up to each other in a cold sweat, gripping each other tightly. Those who were alone, what did those who were alone do? Nightmare became synonymous with sleep. No one was safe. Not children, not the people who believed in the power of positive thinking, not the yogis who ate vegan and ordered wheatgrass shakes. People blamed it on Wi-Fi signals, on coffee makers, on toasters, on computers, on cell phones, on the environmental emissions, on the Earth's gravitational pull. Other people just blamed genetics. Nothing solved the problem. Nothing made the nightmares stop. People eventually had to sleep, and sleep was not met with peace, but the sense of impending doom and shattering teeth. It was a gene too many people possessed. The newspapers were wrought with caffeine and energy drink heart attacks and amphetamine overdoses. No one wanted to sleep. New York changed its tourism slogan from "the city that never sleeps" to "peace and productivity" to drive out attractors that had been arriving in droves. When Elysium arrived to save the masses from their night terrors, it turned out too expensive to produce. It became available only to those who could afford expensive prescription registrations. It didn't take long for the government to classify Elysium as a controlled substance. The rich, the elite, they sleep well in beds with soft pillows and sheets that are never soaked in sweat. The rest of us grit our teeth, even with heavy eyelids, wondering what horrors await us in the dark. In the morning, I want to roll over and smile at Kiernan. His pillow is cold. I long for him to wrap himself around me, even if it's with the arms of someone who has been awake all night with nightmares. All I have, though, is a plastic bag. One wallet, an ID card, one cell phone, $26 in cash, one ring. I play his outgoing message just to hear his voice. I check his voicemail. The first is my own, asking where he is, why he hasn't come home. The second is me too, asking where he is, angry. How dare he? The third is me yet again, panic in my voice, and tears choking over the phone. I feel the bile swell, thinking about if only he had heard me, if only he had checked his messages. The fourth is from a number I don't recognize. It only says, Hypnos. Call us back. Hypnos. Criminals. Dream traders. The purveyors of peace. How did my husband get a person high up enough to leave an unblocked number? I press the call back button, my breathing short. I'm almost sure they can hear me, as if every dream catcher scattered on my bedroom floor from yesterday was ready to betray what they had caught. Hello? The voice on the other end commands. I don't know what to say. My skin is hot and tightening around my bones. I only stare at the songbirds Kiernan hung in our room, made from old vinyl records our grandparents used to have. He treated them more like a dream catcher than anything else in the room. Little birds made from what was left of Eurythmics. I can't think of anything else to say. So as I am staring at the songbirds, I whisper, "Sweet dreams."